All right, guys, welcome to my interview of RoseBlades. So, we're going to talk about what happened with DDJ from her perspective, and we're going to see what she has to say about all of this. So, RoseBlades, where do we start with this? Like, what is your connection to DDJ?
Back in, should I just tell the story from the beginning?
Sure, as long as you keep it, short and to the point.
Okay, so basically, Templar told me about DJ and that I should speak to him. So I did. This was back in around October 2017, before the Red Pill drama.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, so that's when I reached out to him. I can't actually give a specific date because it's not in front of me, but that was the month we started talking. And then obviously we became friends over time.
Okay, so this wasn't too far after his first appearance on the TFM show. You reached out to him. So how did it come to where you were his so-called pocket thot? Like, how did that happen?
Right, so people were already calling me his girlfriend. So as a joke, I called myself DJ's pocket thot because I thought I'd just own the insult because they were already using it as an insult and have a name. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna own pocket.
Okay.
And just take the power away from them and just own the insult. And so I did help him with research. In fact, I did a lot of it. I actually collected all the timestamps. I recorded everything that was being said in these streams, these videos, word for word. So when he looked at it, he knew what was being said and what he needed from those videos.
Okay, and how often did he give you credit for your work on his videos?
Barely ever. Like, I can't remember. Like twice, maybe. Maybe not even that. Like the only time he would give me credit was to annoy people, like the Sandman interview that I got him.
Okay.
He only gave me credit for that because, in fact, he even said why he did it, to piss people off.
Gotcha. And I did see where he did thank you a couple of times as well. But I'm going to guess that didn't happen very often.
Nope.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so how much did you have to do with the fallout when it came to the red pill coin?
Since I was already, because I actually was talking to Miggy way before I was talking to DJ. So Miggy was telling me things, right, about Chris. Now, I didn't actually think anything of it until I looked back. And I was just kind of like, wait, he's saying this to me. He's saying this to TFM and this to DJ. And he's saying this on his streams. And they were lies. He was literally lying.
So he was inconsistent.
Yeah. And I was just kind of like, so what's the truth? Because he's saying one thing and then he's saying another thing. What's the truth? So I wanted to know the truth. So I went looking for the truth. So DJ, if I recall, didn't actually ask me to watch the streams because I was already talking to Mickey and I was already watching his stuff. So he didn't actually have to ask me to do that. He probably already knew I was already doing that. And then I brought up, well, Mickey said this about Angry MGTOW in the stream because Angry was actually in the chat. And he said that he wouldn't talk about the red pill coin, but he proceeded to talk about the red pill coin. And I can't remember word for word what was said because it was a while ago now. But it didn't really add up. because I heard like two versions at the time from his mouth and Chris's. So I went back to DJ. I gave him the timestamps, and I continued listening to the stream, and then I just started giving him everything from pretty much then, and just continued to do it because I mostly just wanted the truth, because I could see that they were lying, but I didn't know why they were lying. So I wanted to know, why were they lying to their community? Why? What's the deal? Why are they lying? What's their reason to lie? And then, of course, they started falsely accusing TFM and DJ of being paedophiles because sex dolls, which pissed me off, made me really, really angry.
Understandable. And I was on the ground, during all this as well.
So,
and that's about all I was angry about. The red pill coin seemed like a scam. And again, Angry MGTOW came out and at least admitted that it was implemented incorrectly or whatnot. So take that for whatever you will. There's a lot of just dirty, filthy shit going on around that time. So, okay.
And then...
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. The thing that I just want to add is that Phil should never have been dragged into this at all. He had nothing to do with it. TFM had nothing to do with it at all.
Yep.
And the funny thing is, Miggy told TFM on Twitter that he would pack this shit in, and he didn't. He just proceeded to create... Well, he made this drama bigger than it needed to be.
Okay. All right, speaking of lies and inconsistencies and things of that sort, just like what I have on the screen here right now, tell us about the kinds of stuff that DDJ would say to you behind the scenes.
Well, he cucked to me, and then he accused others being a cuck to me.
Yes, he cucked to you, but can you give us examples of like the kind of things that he said to you? Like something more specific than he cucked to me.
Well, he talked about the rough sex and snuggles and the things that he wanted to sexually do to me, and that was in voice, I recall. And there were others that you've already seen by DM.
Right. Yeah, I have some of those. Again, one of them's on the screen, but I guess he saved the dirtiest stuff for voice, where he screenshot it.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, gotcha.
Sickening.
I mean, there's anything else like that you have to say about that particular?
Well, he lied about TFM. Probably Cat too, because I would say Cat was easier to try and turn me against, because me and Cat weren't close. We barely spoke to each other. If we did.
And how did he, like, what kind of things did he say to you to try to get you to turn against them?
That he was friends with Zeph. Now, I wasn't really sure about that. The screenshot that was showing, I was suspicious, I guess, but I didn't know really what to think about it. And when he tried really hard. Now you remember the Red Pill Ghost, right?
Yeah.
The one I beefed with, the one who I basically got him to hang with us, so he'd have people to talk to, and he wouldn't have to feel like he's being policed. He can actually go his own way without anyone breathing down his neck. Well, he used the Red Pill Ghost. In fact, he tried to interview the Red Pill Ghost, and I think he was going to probably try and frame Cat further because he spoke to Zeph.
Okay, and in an older video, we pretty much destroyed his argument about him being friends with Zeph.
Yep. And I have.
If anyone was friends with a doxer, it would be DDJ. You know. I'm not so certain that Kraut is innocent at all.
He isn't. He is entirely innocent.
I'm actually kind of annoyed that when people look up my non-red pill shit, if you Google that shit, there's a bunch of shit about Kraut and my username. So that kind of agitates me, to be honest, because Kraut's a shitbag leftist. I hope, that he's found the pregnant trout, but I wouldn't bank on that. Okay, so.
But yeah, he tried to basically. He basically was like, "Oh, well, you know that what Zeph did to Ripple Ghost and Cat." He was just like basically trying to say, "Cat's the same." That's basically what he was saying, and then he was trying to turn me against TFM, saying that he was a woman hater. Now I didn't believe this because every time I tried to defend TFM, he would like try and push me further and be like, no, like this, and it's just kind of like, no, there's opinions. That doesn't mean he hates women. There are opinions.
As we've figured out. Now, speaking of that, so I want to point out or have you remind everybody. So did he or did he not ask you to go through Turd Flinging Monkeys videos in order to find stuff that could be flagged, such as woman hating?
Yeah. Now, he didn't actually say it in that way, but I think that was his intent. He wanted me to find something. Actually, he told me to find anything that's anti-woman. Basically, what was it? Something to do with Islam and taking women's rights away, things like that. Something he was looking for material he could flag. So that's what he wanted.
Anything that he, could flag for being misogynist or racist or, against Islam.
Not so much like racist. Basically, anything that could frame TFM as a woman hater. So anything that's pro-Islam,
Well, I guess you don't get this, but for a long time anything that's anti-Islam is automatically racist because Islamic people are generally brown. So that's the way the left has, framed the argument.
Yeah, that's not how he framed it. He basically, because he was saying, TFM supports Islam, blah 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 blah, woman hating, and he wanted me to find this thing. So it was he wanted to find.
So basically, and because
he wanted to find anything that he probably could
pro-Islam.
Yes, that's how he was trying to frame it, and I think he wanted, because I think he lied to us. He actually wanted these timestamps to flag because he was looking for anything he was literally looking for anything offensive.
Yeah, and there's no mystery that around the same time that Turd Flinging Monkeys book, I think it's 13 Ways How Not to Be a Cuck or something of that sort. Around that time that book launched is when suddenly his YouTube got flagged down.